No, dude, they're getting the first pick next year. They're not gonna win a game. They don't have Ben Johnson, dude. Come on.
Let's talk about the Bills versus New York Jets. Jets are 6.5-point home dogs. Over-under set at 46.5. Man, can somebody go back and just read me the comments on our Jets video? Just so many people. The Steelers should have lost that game. We called that one. All of us were on the Jets. We all cashed last week, so that was really easy. Can they do it again, Wyatt? What do you think?
Yeah, again, maybe a little overreaction on the Bills. I know the Bills are outplayed for, 57 minutes in that game. Got lucky with the fumble at the end. Got a crazy win that I know screwed all three of us. We were all on the Ravens, screwed us bad. And the Jets, I know the Jets lost, but they played great. Justin Fields looked phenomenal. Run game was there. Again, they do have some weapons in the wide receiver room. Tight ends look fine. I'm going to take the Jets at home at the plus 6.5. Again, not a game I'm super thrilled to bet, but I don't know. Super emotional win for Buffalo as well. It could potentially have a little bit of a hangover spot. Jets are at home. I don't think the Jets played bad. I just think the Steelers played really well. And again, like you said, Ben, the Jets easily could have won that game. Probably should have won that game.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to take the home team here at plus 6.5. Not over excited about this game or this line, but yeah, I'll take a shot on New York at home.
Yeah, so this is another one I've actually already locked in. Locked it in first thing Monday morning, Jets plus 7. And I absolutely love this play. This line actually opened up 8.5, and that was Sunday night right after the game. It was down to 7 Monday morning. So I was shocked. I thought I was at least getting 8 in this one. I was okay. Anything over a touchdown, which is why I locked in the 7 when I could. And every other book outside of FanDuel where I locked it was 6.5. But yeah, I just could not believe that came down the way it did there. But it's warranted. I mean, like Wyatt just said, the Bills got outplayed almost the entirety of that game. Had they not even been down that much, had they only been down 8 points instead of 15, I don't even know if they win that game, because I think Harbaugh just did it again. I mean, he just sucked it in, played not to lose. He's running Derrick Henry in the most obvious, we're going to run Derrick Henry situations when Lamar was getting chunk play after chunk play. Zay Flowers was getting open all over that defense. It was just really brutal to watch. But the Ravens were, in my opinion, by far the better team. Their defense was quite a bit better than Buffalo's. And yeah, Buffalo just had that late surge. They got the lucky turnover. Henry hardly ever fumbled that one in a really bad spot, and just didn't go their way. Even as far as like missing 2-point conversion, I mean, it just messed everything up to the point of where, if they get that last 2-point conversion, tie up the game, then Baltimore's on the attack rather than on the defense, and they probably go down and kick that field goal. So it's just everything that could go right for Buffalo seemed like it did. And then obviously that was a huge game that they had prepped for, a huge divisional rematch from the playoffs. So I think they just put a ton of effort into that game, obviously put the effort on the field into that game. Now they have Thursday night on deck, short week coming up against the Dolphins. I know the Dolphins suck, but it's still a divisional opponent that's given Buffalo some trouble in the past, and it's down in Miami where it's hot, where Buffalo tends to struggle. And then, yeah, the Jets should have won that game. They get to stay home, play it in MetLife both times. They have not had to travel yet. They have Bucks on deck and out of conference, no look ahead. Yeah, and again, if it weren't for a costly turnover on that kick return by the Jets, they win that game outright. Unfortunately, I did have Jets money line and Baltimore money line, so both these teams fooked me. But yeah, Jets plus 7 is way too many points. Buffalo probably finds a way to win outright, but way too many points if you can get over the touchdown. And I think now every time a 7 comes up, sharps are picking it off, sending it back to 6.5. So it probably closes on 7 because I think public will be all over Buffalo on Sunday. But I like the Jets plus 7. Already locked that in.
I love it. What if I told you that the Jets lose their starting quarterback on the third play of the game and the Jets still win? Oh, like it happened 2 years ago. Like, we need to remember these these interdivisional games are tough, man. Bills and Jets, they know each other. They're going to be ready for each other. I love that Ethan said, like, everything that could have gone right. It felt like a Chiefs game, didn't it? Everything that could have gone right for the Bills did go right when it mattered the most. I see a lot of Ravens fans chirping about the refs. Hey, maybe that was a Chiefs game. We just swapped jerseys. I don't know. I'm with you guys here. I like the Jets a lot. I think that defense is going to play tough. This team looks, I don't know what the right word for it is, but they were like dead in the water with Rodgers. They look like they're actually out there playing for each other again. They have a purpose. So, yeah, give me the Jets to go out there and cover the 7. It's hard to say make them a live dog, but these division games are tough, man. These division games, they can be tough. We do have a comment, though. Yes.
Fields look good.
Justin Fields did look good. And maybe we see a turnover from Al. We know he's prone to him in the past. We do have a couple comments from Noah here. He says, Jets, Jets, Jets. A bunch of Bills players on the injury report now, too. That's a good point.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next game. We got the Giants heading to Dallas to face the Cowboys. Cowboys are 5.5-point home favorites. I hate this 5.5 line. I hate these every single time. I guess I took Dallas minus the 5.5. I thought the run defense looked pretty good. I know everybody thought this team was going to be dead. Coming against the Giants, once again, it feels like they're baiting us, doesn't it? They're like, come on, take the Giants. Take the 5.5. And like I was just saying, it's a division game. I really like the Giants defense too. Think they can keep it close. But something doesn't feel right in this one. So I want to take the points. Take the minus 5.5. But if both of you guys are on Giants, I can be easily swayed. Ethan, what do you think?
I'm not going to say anything that's going to easily sway you, but I'm going to slightly lean the Giants. And if you ask me in 5 minutes, I could be going Cowboys' way. So it's truly just a nothing game. It's an easy pass game for me. Mm-hmm. I thought Dallas looked really good against Philly. However, I'm going to take a step back. Again, Dallas had all offseason to prep for Philly, the Super Bowl champion. It was a massive game, Thursday night, first game of the season. Philly with the hangover, Super Bowl. And I think with that rain delay thrown in there, that flipped everything. I know that got Wyatt pretty bad because that was a dead nuts over. Without that delay, that still goes dead nuts over. And to be honest with you, I was kind of happy with it because I had Dallas plus 8.5. And I don't know if Dallas covers that game without the rain delay. So I'm going to take a step back on Dallas. I think maybe people are going to look at Dallas looked really good, should have won the game outright. And obviously New York looked like complete awful. So I'm going to lean on New York. It's nothing that I'm looking to play whatsoever. But again, divisional game, 5.5 points, always weird. You know, Dallas might win this one 21-17 or win by 4. Giants cover, right. Dallas win. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. But I cross this game off immediately. I don't want anything to do with this from a betting aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how majority of these games are for me this week, unfortunately. And I told you I sent a tweet out Sunday afternoon. There's 2 teams I'm just refusing to bet until they at least show some signs of life. And unfortunately, the Giants is one of them. So they might be the right play. I don't care. I'm not, even on this show, I'm not going to back them until they prove me right. I made too many mistakes last year of keep backing really bad teams. And Giants are really bad. They're really, really bad. Russell Wilson's old. He's not good. He is the equivalent of the Steelers, Russell Wilson. He's the equivalent of the Broncos, Russell Wilson. He's not good. He's not having that rebirth like Aaron Rodgers seemed to have in week 1. So until Giants show any signs of life, I am not backing them. So unfortunately, I'm going to take Dallas. But like Ethan said, this is a game that if I do bet it, I am 100% calling the hotline and signing up to rehab. Because I must be in a really low spot if I'm trying to make money on this game because it's gross. So I'll go Dallas for the graphic simply because I refuse to bet the Giants, and I can't go back on that statement I made 1 week later. So Giants are off my betting list for probably the extended future. This team sucks, so I'll take Dallas. But again, game I should not and will not be betting.
Okay, I love it. Let's talk about this divisional game. We got the Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. Man, Ravens coming off a devastating loss, 11.5-point home favorites. They're expected to spank the crap out of the Browns. Over-under set at 45.5. Wyatt, that's a huge number, dude.
Yeah, it's almost one of those numbers where it rarely gets that high in the NFL. And I think this is more, I know the Ravens lost, but I think this is more to a statement that the Ravens absolutely dominated that game. And I know the Browns probably should have won. If they make that kick, they probably beat the Bengals. So the fact that the Browns kept it close and the Ravens lost and the line's still 11.5, I think just shows that the Ravens are just the much superior team. And again, the Ravens dominated 57 minutes on, was that Sunday night? Sunday night. So I'm going to take the Ravens. Again, not a game I'm super thrilled to bet. I hate betting high spreads, whether you're taking the dog or the favorite in the NFL, just because both teams have all-stars. Both teams have guys that are getting paid millions of bucks. I mean, it's really hard to blow out a team in the NFL, but the Ravens have done this in the past. I think they probably will this weekend. So give me Baltimore, but again, not a game I'm super excited to bet or watch.
Anyone having deja vu from this matchup? Anybody at all? Because last year, opening game in Kansas City, one of the three, big-headed monsters in the AFC, Bills, Chiefs, Ravens. Ravens lose a close one they probably should have had. Come back home for their first home game.
Raiders.
Raiders. Yeah. Large spread. No way the Raiders could do it. Raiders win outright. I'm going Cleveland. I'll take the points. It's not a game that I want to bet. So, for the show, I'll take Cleveland. I don't want to put my money on Cleveland, but Cleveland looked good last week. That's probably going to help out their betting market just a little bit here. But AFC North divisional game, will it shock me if Baltimore blows them out? Not at all, because they looked completely dominant in that game against Buffalo. But we've seen this before with Baltimore. I think they put obviously a ton of prep and effort into Buffalo, and they should come out with their hair on fire, but I thought that last year too, and they came out flat as could be, lost outright to the Raiders. So I'll give a slight edge to Cleveland getting over 10 points. This has been bouncing 10.5, 12.5. Kind of weird numbers to be bouncing between. I think it's 11.5 now, but I'll take a small stab on Cleveland.
Yeah, it's 12.5 at lunch today. So we've already lost a point. I would have loved to get them at 12.5. I'm also on Cleveland in this game. Think, you know what? They did a great job against Jamar Chase and the good Bengals offense. I think they can do it against a good Ravens offense also. Keep this low scoring and ugly. That's going to be my opinion on it. But the only part that gives me any concern about this is that we have an insider in Baltimore, and they told me that this is the worst game they're going to play all season. So...
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I believe his name's Isaiah Likely. He said, this is the worst game we're going to play all season. We'll be better. We'll see you in the playoffs. All right, let's talk about this next game. We've got San Fran headed to New Orleans to face the Saints. Saints are 3-point underdogs. Over-runners at 40.5. Looks like Brock Purdy's probably not going to play in this game. That's why the spread is so close. And I'm going to let you guys talk about, especially Ethan, I'll start with you, talking about the spreads and when quarterbacks don't play.
Yeah, I'm on the Niners in this game, -3. I'm probably going to end up getting to the window on this game, but it's your typical injured player theory. Now, I know 49ers are extremely banged up. No George Kittle. He hit the IR with that hamstring. I don't think Jawan Jennings practiced today. That dude's a China doll. Obviously, sounds like no Brock Purdy. But I don't care. We're getting Mac Jones at quarterback. I know Mac Jones has not had a very good NFL career, but he's played. He was a high draft pick. He's played the game. He's not 4 points. I think this was 7.5 back early in the week when Purdy, Jennings, everyone was probably going to play. And we're taking off 4.5 points because of Purdy to Mac Jones. Purdy's not some goat, he's a system quarterback that plays well with all those good players in San Fran. Clearly last year when most of those guys get injured, he's not playing that well. He didn't play well on Sunday. He had 2 picks that were just horrible. Should have had a third on that game-winning touchdown. They should have lost that game outright. So, I'm not concerned at all with Purdy out. I would actually welcome Mac Jones. And, at the end of the day, we're talking the Niners as only a 3-point favorite against the Saints. The team that we have all agreed here is the worst team in the NFL. Spencer Rattler, Mac Jones is easily starting for the Saints at quarterback. What are we doing? We still have the top 5 defense in the NFL against Spencer Rattler, and you're laying 3. I'll take that all day.
Yep, I'm right there with you. Injured quarterback theory, injured player theory with George Kittle as well. You're getting a huge discount on San Fran. I know the Saints played okay against what should have been one of the better defenses in the league in Denver. Still lost that game. No, they didn't play. Denver played Tennessee. Who did the Saints play? Oh, Arizona. They're in that game majority of the time. So maybe that's pushing the line too. But yeah, I mean, injured quarterback theory, I'm already there. You add Kittle into the mix, I'm there even more. So yeah, San Fran looks like a game I'll probably get involved in. Maybe on the money line, just get a little risky there. Maybe a teaser. I hate teasing when you get from a negative to a positive. I think that's a stupid play. But I mean, I can't really see San Fran losing this game, and especially losing by over 3 points. So maybe, but it's probably not the smartest teaser there. But yeah, I'll go San Fran simply because of the injured player theory on both Purdy and Kittle. Great point too. I mean, Purdy, it's really hard to be a bad quarterback in San Fran when they're healthy. And when you got a fantastic offensive line, you got Christian McCaffrey. I know they're down with Kittle and their wide receivers aren't what they used to be, but I mean, still, it's not that tough to be a starting quarterback at San Fran. I mean, we saw it's kind of similar to the Michigan. I know I bring in college football quite a bit, but I mean, Michigan had 8 wins last year with a quarterback that had leukemia. I mean, it's not that hard when you're a system quarterback with a great defense, with a really good offensive line. So yeah, give me Mac Jones. I think they win that game pretty decently, and maybe Mac starts competing with Brock maybe a little bit. We could see that definitely happening. So yeah, it's got to be San Fran. Probably my favorite play so far we've talked about.
Yeah, we got no in the comments. Mac Jones isn't too bad. We all agree with you there. And I'm with you guys also. Give me San Fran. This feels like an easy one. If you're afraid of it pushing, you can take the alternate line of the minus, 2.5, -2. What did that be? -130 maybe. If you want to split it between the spread and the money line, you could do that. But I feel pretty confident with the -3. If it pushes, it pushes. But you guys just said it all, man. The offense runs through McCaffrey anyways. McCaffrey's playing. We're good.
I'm seeing -162 money line on FanDuel. Like, come on. This is the Saints. I would take I would be tempted to take the Panthers -162 against the Saints. Like,
yeah.
I get the Niners.
Yeah.
Come on.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
This one's too easy. This was too easy. Let's talk about one that might be a little harder. We're still talking about some NFC West teams for some garbage. We got the LA Rams heading to Tennessee to face the Titans. Titans are 5.5-point underdogs. Over-under set at 41.5. Rams coming off a nail biter to Houston. Tennessee coming off of a very close game with Denver. I think it's going to tempt people. Now you get the Titans at home plus the 5.5. Feel like that's a mistake. Feel like I have to go with the LA Rams here. Just feel like they're the better team. Kept Houston out of the end zone. 3 field goals. That's all they were able to manage. If you're able to keep them out of the end zone, I think they can probably have some success against the Tennessee Titans, keeping them out of the end zone. -5.5. Okay, this game's what, 17-0, 17-3, 17-6. We get there. Give me the LA Rams. What do you think, Ethan?
I like your score prediction 'cause I like the under in this game quite a bit. 41.5. Not sure where the points are coming from. But I actually am going to lean Tennessee. And again, this is about as confident as I am in the Giants. I have no interest in backing this or betting this game. Yeah, I mean, the Rams won last week. I don't know if they probably should have. I actually need to go back and watch. I've been trying to get through all the highlights of the games I didn't get to watch on Sunday. Have not gotten to this one, but I think if I remember right, they maybe, I don't know if they should have won. Covered. Yeah.
It is ugly.
Yeah, I think Denver took Tennessee lightly last week. Tennessee couldn't get in the end zone. I know Cam Ward looked pretty rough, but at the end of the day, LA has a date with Philly on deck, Super Bowl champion. It's a big game. I think they probably think they can head into Tennessee, get out with an easy win, and put some extra effort into Philly, see if they can't start the year 3-0 with a really beautiful win against the Eagles. So 5.5, it just seems a little too much for my liking, especially when I don't think either team's going to put up a ton of points. So I'll take a small lean on Tennessee, but just like that New York-Dallas game, this was an easy cross-off for the week.
Yeah, not a great game here. And I don't know what it is about Cam Ward, because I could not stand that guy at Miami. But I got a little faith in him this year in the NFL. He's an interesting quarterback. I think he just is a playmaker. He makes a lot of plays that he probably shouldn't. I know they have a bad offensive line. They have bad targets in the wide receiver room. He just kind of makes plays. He escapes. I don't know if his decision-making is great, but he seems like he's always going to be in the play. If they have a lot of pressure, he'll seem maybe to get out of it. So I unfortunately am going to lean Tennessee as well. Don't love this at all. Again, probably not a game I'm going to be betting. I don't know. I can't really get a read on Tennessee. I feel like Cam Ward might be better than I think he is, and I think he's actually pretty solid. Again, he seems like kind of like a Caleb Williams with just more playmaking ability. And not saying that Caleb Williams is any good, but this guy's super mobile. He can sling the ball. I think he gets himself out of a lot of bad situations from his feet. So, and I'm just not high on the Rams, man. The Rams looked bad last week. They have a look-ahead spot. Just not high on the Rams. I know Puko missed a little bit of time with that nasty cut to his head, but God, I don't know. I'll lean Tennessee for the graphic. Again, game I'm not too interested in watching or betting, but yeah, give me Tennessee plus 5.5 at home.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep butting in here at the end, but I will just say quick, if Tennessee covers this game, they will already tie last year's record for covers on the season with 2. So
here we go.
Wow. That's a great stat you got there, Ethan. I'm sending this one to Wyatt first because we got to talk about the Cats. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars heading to Cincinnati to face those Bengals. Bengals are 3.5-point home favorites. Over-under set at 48.5. Believe this is the highest over-under of the week. What do you think, man? This is going to be a all gas, no brakes type of game.
Yeah, I definitely have this categorized as an overreaction game. Maybe a little overreaction of Cincy's poor performance against the Browns. Maybe an overreaction of the Jags' pretty decent win last week in Week 1. So I think Cincy, again, I think they're going to have similar problems than they did last year. Their defense is trash. Joe Burrow is going to have to be the Joe Burrow show if Cincy has any chance of making the playoffs this year. Luckily, Joe can do that. I do think Jamar Chase is going to have a great bounce back this week. Terrible Week 1. I think Cincy rolls. So I'll take Cincy at the 3.5. Again, maybe you're getting a nicer number because of the Jags' nice win and the Cincy ugly win. I don't know. I kind of like this game a little too much. I think I might take Cincy pretty decently sized wager here. Again, maybe a money line parlay with San Fran isn't a bad option here. 3.5 is kind of an ugly number on the spread. Could maybe buy that down to 3 if you wanted to. But yeah, I think Cincy rolls. I think we're a little too overhyped on Jacksonville. Also, don't hate the under here. I am worried that Cincy just puts up 40, but I don't trust the Jags at all. I know they got that Week 1 win, but it's nothing that overly surprised me. And I'm not super impressed by Jacksonville. So I think Cincy bounces back, kind of gives their fans some hope of a positive season this year. I know they're 1-0, but ugly game Week 1. So yeah, I like Cincy to get it done at home.
Yeah, I agree. Like Wyatt's how he started that off. It's a major overreaction game for me, but I actually think it is for the total and the side. So I'll start in agreement with the side. I like Cincy. I'm trying to really not outbet. I'm trying to have like just a ton of wagers out there and then just watch them all fall and think, oh my God, like this is happening. It's going really bad. So I need to get some games crossed off that I like. So I played Cincy for our Survivor. That way I can root for them for that, not be kicking myself completely if they go blow out Jacksonville, because I'll at least have that to hang my hat on. But I'm going to try not to bet Cincinnati, but I really do like them to bounce back in this game. And like Wyatt said, it's the overreaction to the Jags dominating against Carolina, which that game was funky with their rain delay. I didn't watch any of that, so not really sure how things shook out before and after. I think Jags pretty much dominated both sides of that delay. And then the Bengals. Obviously, Zach Taylor cannot get this team ready coming out of the gate, just time and time again. Should have lost that game. They end up squeaking it out. But, yeah, I think you get the overreaction to Jags looking really good, Bengals looking really bad. I also think you get the overreaction on the total. I think a lot of people will be wanting to bet the under. There was 36 points in the Jags game, 33 points in the Bengals game. Now it's a total of 49. I think people are going to want to bet the under with how bad Burrow and the Bengals offense looked, and I think this game goes flying over. I think it's a complete shootout. So I like the over. I like the Bengals, but I'm probably just going to keep the Bengals as my survivor and just root for them from that aspect.
We are pretty lockstep this year. I'm also on Cincinnati with you guys. I mean, they got to turn around at some point, and you could see how frustrated Cincinnati looked on the sideline. They are just really, really tired of starting slow. So I think they come in here against the Jacksonville defense. It's not very good. And I feel like they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. They're going to have to run up the score because, like Ethan said, I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think Jacksonville's not going to have an issue moving the ball either. ETN's back, guys. I feel like I needed to say that. ETN's back. 71-yard rush. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, and then to get rid of Bigsby the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I wish I would have drafted him.
Yeah, great news for my fantasy team. Great news. I got him late as a potential flex, and now I definitely wouldn't have any problem starting ETN at a flex position, maybe even an RB2. I mean, yeah, you get rid of the competition, and again, you can run the ball, you can catch the ball. ETN's back, baby.
I like it. While we're on fantasy and that game, I am struggling in one of my leagues. I have Jamar Chase. Obviously, I picked him first overall, so I had to wait a bunch. I took a running back. My other two receivers, Devontae and Cooper Kupp. Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp.
Oof.
Don't love it. I'm thinking, and I just want to hear your guys' quick opinion, offering Jamar and Cooper Kupp for JSN and Zay Flowers.
Oof. Giving up Jamar. Jamar's, yeah. I know he had a bad week one.
He had a bad week one.
The Bengals are going to do anything. It's going to go through Jamar.
Right. I'm just thinking Cooper Kupp was so bad. He only had like 5 targets, I think.
What did JSN?
I really like JSN. He had 13 targets, I think 7 or 8 catches. He did pretty well.
I like JSN, but I just don't want to give up
AJ Brown. He also has AJ Brown. But there's just so many mouths to feed with Philly that I would almost rather go JSN and Zay over AJ. But I haven't even brought it up to him yet, so it's just something I was debating. I know Jamar's gonna bounce back. Obviously, I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about Kupp and Devontae.
Yeah,
I think you could get more for him is the thing.
Yeah, I think I'm maybe overly high on Zay and JSN. Maybe I'm really high on JSN.
I know Baltimore spread the ball out quite a bit. So.
Yeah, Zay worries me.
He was so open. Man. Yeah, we'll wait. Overreaction. Maybe Phil's secondary is just that bad. I mean, Damar wasn't out there. Damar got replaced.
Yeah. Overreaction week it is. Guys, also I wanted to mention before we move on to the next one, the Bengals money line, the exact same as the Niners versus Saints.
At 3.5 too. God, that's good.
I feel like I had to mention it.
That's good. I'm going to lose a lot this week.
We're losing it all.
Super cautious to take these. Although favorites did great in week one, even though I feel like we had I think favorites were like 14-2 outright or something like that. Not that bad. I don't know. They did all right. So
we got to stop betting these bad teams. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
We keep betting the Giants and Panthers. Yep. It's not working out.
Nope.
Let's talk about away from teams like Cleveland, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
The easiest bet on the board.
Yeah. Let's talk about your guys' team. It's our last game before halftime. We got the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. Your guys' Lions are 6-point home favorites. Over-under set at 46.5. Ethan, they get it done?
No, dude. They're getting the first pick next year. They're not going to win a game. They don't have Ben Johnson, dude. Come on. The team's done. The same old Lions, 0-17. It's coming.
Cooked, bro.
Yeah, the Lions are getting this done. My God. Easy. I'm bummed, though. I wanted Chicago to just keep rolling Monday night. This would have been 3.5 line. It was 3.5 while they were winning. Sure enough, they blow that game, almost blow my brain because they almost didn't cover up 7.5.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, that was a – despite getting the win on Monday night, that was a bad night because that game was just absolutely – whatever. So, yeah, I was hoping Chicago would go win that game, get a nice line on the Lions, but Lions are still going to blow out the Bears. Caleb Williams looked awful. Outside of his running ability, he missed so many passes. I felt like I was watching like a high school kid who runs the wing tee and then had to throw because they were down late. You know, it was just he looked really awful throwing the ball. Ben Johnson, I think, realized in that game, like, damn, I don't have the players that I had with Detroit to run all this stuff. So, yeah, I think, you know, Ben coming back to Detroit, yeah, it's a big narrative. But I think him coming into our house, I think it's a bigger narrative for Detroit. I just think Detroit's way better. Obviously, no one wants to back Detroit after what they saw against Green Bay. I'll take them here over or under a touchdown against the Bears, who they just have really owned lately. I know the Bears play them tight, but they can't beat us. So, yeah, I like the Lions quite a bit.
Yeah, apologies for my background noise. Sounds like my washer is going to launch off to Mars here in a second. Yeah, I'm on Detroit. I'm on Detroit big. Detroit is my survivor pick. I figured I'd get their survivor out of the way before they either just suck the entire season and get the number 1 overall draft pick, or you know, the line just becomes too gross. So I'm going to take Detroit as a survivor. I think they win this game outright. I also saw a stat on Twitter. Again, I'm super gullible and don't do a whole lot of researching of these stats, but I saw 10-0 against the spread for Dan Campbell coming off a loss. Again, didn't really look into it, so it could just be absolute fugazi. But I mean, 10-0. I mean, seriously, don't twist my arm. But yeah, I really think Detroit gets after it. I think their defensive line gets after Caleb. We saw Caleb under distress multiple times on Monday night. So I do think our defense gets some sacks. I think our secondary tightens up. And yeah, I mean, devastating Monday night loss for, I know we were on the Bears, and devastating Sunday night loss with the Ravens, 2 really bad beats. But yeah, Chicago's not good. They started off great, and then it was just same old Chicago. And I just think the storyline Detroit, again, maybe an overreaction without their 2 coordinators. You know, maybe they got some in a bad offensive line. Maybe they got some stuff to figure out. Maybe they're going to struggle. But going against their old OC, you add that on to a really bad week. I could see the Lions piling on this score. So, yeah, I think Detroit wins big. I don't hate the over of this game. Again, Detroit's secondary looked bad, so maybe Caleb makes some deep ball throws. But yeah, I think Detroit absolutely rolls. So give me them 5.5. I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit wins by 20 plus points in this game.
Ooh. No, I think they win easy, but it might be close and not the -6. I'm going to be with you guys, though. I am going to be on Detroit minus the 6. I mean, Detroit's going to be a little pissed off after that game against Green Bay, right? Green Bay thinks they're the big dogs around town again, but I think the Lions are going to say not so fast. Ben Johnson, he's coming in against the Lions, and like you guys said, it's like a homecoming for him. It's a bigger narrative than is. I mean, what are they going to be saying in that locker room, right? Caleb Johnson's like, listen, we need to do this for Coach, guys. We need to do this for him.
Did anyone see that he had Vikings-colored earrings on?
I didn't.
Dude,
I saw
both
that.
ears. He had 2 different gemstones. One was purple, one was gold. I'm like, what? Is he going to wear blue and silver?
I did see he has the same nail salon person as Angel Reese, so that's automatically a touchdown the other team's favor.
Oh my gosh! This team is so they're so hard to root for. I'm sorry, Bears fans, but I agree with you guys completely. I think the Lions take this one. Maybe not even that close. If Caleb Johnson's going to keep making some of the mistakes he was making, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night for him.
During all those 3 and outs he was getting, he was just looking over to the sideline, almost like, I have no clue what I'm doing.
Yes.
Like his body language was horrible.
What was he wearing? You can't wear baggy sleeves under your jersey, dude. It's the stupidest look. And then he untucks it at his waist. It just looks so freaking. It's not even the team colors. It's gray. Looks like an idiot out there.
It took me 3 quarters to realize his shirt because I couldn't stop looking at his nails and his Viking color earrings.
And gosh, what else is going on with him? God, there was something else. Fuck.
Did he have that throw left sideline? It looked like 2 guys ran out. One was probably like a 12-yard, one was like a 6-yard. And it just kind of like went in between them, just landed at the coach's feet. Could not tell you who he was trying to get that ball to, but that was like one of the worst throws I've ever seen. And the miss to combat wide open. DJ Moore on that 4th down.
Yep.
Oh my God. That was bad.
Those freaking horrible throws.
Penalties. That's what I was forgetting to mention. Those penalties kill them. They have those penalties against Detroit, dude. It's so over. You cannot do that.
That was crazy.
The Seattle Seahawks heading to Pittsburgh to face Steelers. Steelers are 3-point home favorites. Over-under set at 40.5, lower scoring one. Ethan, why don't you take this one, man?
Yeah, I'm down on both these teams this year. I've been pretty outspoken about Pittsburgh. Yeah, they squeaked out that win last week. Did not deserve it. I think the Jets were the right side. They probably should have won that game. They lost the turnover battle, had that really bad turnover, which resulted in 14 points in less than a minute for Pittsburgh, and that was kind of the difference. Plus, Pittsburgh had to hit a 60-yarder, which was just crazy to me that they didn't do more to try to get that closer. But obviously had faith in Boswell. Meanwhile, Seattle probably should have won last week's game. We talked about that when we talked about the 49ers. Now they're getting 3 points. I'm going to take the 3 with Seattle here. It's not a game I'll probably look to bet. If it does drop to 2.5, might look to tease it up. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to get much separation here. I think a lot of people look at Pittsburgh after Rodgers had the 4 touchdowns. They put up 32 points. Maybe thinking that Pittsburgh's going to be an offensive team this year, but I think it was kind of a one-off thing. I think they were kind of forced to play that way because their defense was allowing Fields to go up and down on them. I think this one's a little bit lower scoring. I would look towards the under in this game. And I do think Seattle covers. I think Seattle probably wins outright. But yeah, if I can get Seattle in a nice teaser, even at 9, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable playing it that way. So that's the way I would look in this one.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, round of applause for Goodell for having Aaron Rodgers play his old team week 1 and then DK playing his old team in week 2. I actually kind of like DK to score, and I might parlay with that with like a Gibbs touchdown. I think Detroit's going to score at will against Chicago. Again, a little bit of payback for that Ben Johnson thing there too. Does Pittsburgh also, do they play Green Bay this year? That would be just the icing of the cake. But I'm not sure if they do. They do. Okay.
Week 11, I think.
NFL was cooking this year.
They're cooking.
Oh, wait.
Has Rodgers played Green Bay yet? Did he play him at the Jets? He had to have.
I think he did once.
I was going to say Goodell cannot miss that opportunity.
Yeah.
But maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. But
they play week 8.
Week 8. Okay. Again.
Sunday Night Football.
Round of applause, Goodell, for making these storylines happen. But, yeah, overreaction here for Green Bay. I think the total, like Ethan says it all. I mean, Green Bay looked absolutely phenomenal, I guess, if you want to say that. Aaron Rodgers had 4 touchdown passes, something I don't think he did at all last year at the Jets. And now you get an over-under at 40.5. I mean, come on. Steelers almost put up 40 themselves last week. So I do like the under, but I'm also, again, I think it's overreaction for Pittsburgh. Even though I was pretty high on them in my AFC preview, it looked pretty good for week 1. Again, they got lucky. They had to make a 60-yarder to win that game. But, Pittsburgh didn't look terrible, but they also played the Jets. And now we have Seattle with a very good defensive-minded head coach there, and my old Michigan boy. I think McDonald is his name or whatever. I'm going to lean up with Seattle. I think Seattle +3 is the play. Honestly, fading the overreaction and the hype around Pittsburgh. I don't think it's going to be there for much longer. So, yeah, give me Seattle. Maybe Seattle squeaks by a win. Like I said, if you do want a touchdown prop, I don't hate the revenge spot for DK. Maybe parlay that with some revenge spots for some Lions players against Ben Johnson. So, DK to score would be my player prop, and I'll take Seattle on the spread.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be the outlier here. Also, I did look it up. He has not played. So, Ethan, you are correct. He has not played Green Bay yet. I'm going to be on Pittsburgh here because if I were to go against the Seahawks are going to be bad this year because their offensive line sucks and Darnold's not going to hold up. I can't pick the Seahawks with Pittsburgh and that defense at home against Seattle. I mean, they have every opportunity here to win this game. So I feel like I have to go Pittsburgh here. My arm's twisted. I do think that they win this one. I think they cover, I would say maybe like a 5 to 7 point win. I agree also that this is going to be a low-scoring game. Like, we just saw not the normal. We just saw they had to score a whole bunch because of Fields, just like Ethan was saying. So, yeah, I agree with a lot of what you guys were saying, but I think I am going to have to go Pittsburgh here just on the defense eating up that offensive line of Seattle. Aaron Rodgers feeling way too confident after that last game. Yeah, no, yep. That's fair. That is absolutely fair. Can't argue that. Let's talk about the next game. The Patriots heading to Miami to face Dolphins. Dolphins are a 0.0 or 0.5 favorite. Can you call that a favorite? This is a pick 'em. They're a 0.5 favorite. Over-under set at 43.5. Guys, I'm on New England here. I think New England wins this one outright. I feel pretty confident about it. Miami has problems. Deep problems. And Mike McDaniels might be fired by week 3. That's one of those things that we're talking about. Miami can score. I don't think they do. I think New England Patriots are going to have a good enough defense to keep this. 43.5 feels about right. Give me the Patriots on the money line here. Minus 102. Hey, Dolphins minus 118. So you're getting a pretty good price there. Ethan, I will send it to you first.
Yeah, this has to be the puke in the mouth game of the week.
Cue it.
Guessing I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah.
You gotta be right.
Yeah, this is just a brutal game. Nobody's going to want to watch this. Both teams looked absolutely atrocious last week. But you know what? One team looked more atrocious than the rest in the league. That was Miami. No one is going to want to back Miami. I'll take a stab with Miami. Fishy line. How in the world are they favored after that dismantling last week? Put up 8 garbage time points. Allowed the Colts to look like world beaters offensively, which I can promise you they're not. We'll get into the Colts later. But, yeah, I mean, how in the world is Miami favored in this game? Mike McDaniel on the hot seat for sure. He's not going to survive this year. I could almost guarantee you that. But I do think he buys himself at least another week here. I do think they beat the Patriots. Patriots came in with so much hype this year. They looked awful in week 1. Yeah, obviously a divisional game on the road in Miami where it's nice and hot down there this time of year. And ultimately, I just think the line is strange. I know by the time we get to Sunday, everyone's going to look at this and say, no chance I back Miami after what we saw last week. I'm not going to back Miami with my own money, but I do think they're probably the side.
Fair.
Houston, we have takeoff. My washing machine has entered the atmosphere. I don't know if you guys can hear this. This thing is on the rim of – I think it's going to fall through the freaking floor. So I apologize. I don't know why my wife always starts her washing machine right when we record. But yeah, I mean, this is a team that I tweeted it out Sunday. I cannot back Miami until they show that they have any sort of pulse. I'm not backing the Giants until they show that they have a pulse. So unfortunately, I'm going to take New England. I am still high on New England. I think we're getting an overreaction on both sides here. New England lost at home to the Raiders, who are supposed to be pretty damn bad. And Miami, like Ethan said, looked absolutely miserable last week. So I still have faith in New England. I do think they bounced back, and I'm not going to back Miami. That was Tua's healthiest game of the year, and he now has CTE as well as color blindness. That guy could not find the right jerseys to throw to, and he's just not a good quarterback. So until Miami shows any sign of life, they are a no-bet team for me. I like New England. I think New England wins as a dog, so give me the Pats.
I like it. Can everybody hear me? I actually unplugged my mic in the middle of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, you're good.
Perfect. Okay, so, all right. Guys, let's move on to the Carolina Panthers versus the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are 6.5-point home favorites. Over under set at 43.5. Wyatt, what do you think about this one, man? Cardinals barely covered against the Saints.
Yeah, in my my tweet about the Giants and the Dolphins, I put the Carolina on the hot seat here. If they continue to suck, I'm no longer betting them. But I'm going to give them one more shot here. Give me the Panthers to cover. Arizona, I did have high hopes for them in the in our preseason video. They don't look great. They do not look great. Kyler Murray might not be it. They played the freaking Saints, who, again, we said is probably going to be the worst team in the league. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to back Carolina, unfortunately, plus 6.5. Give me them. It's gross, but I'll give them one more week, maybe 2 more weeks of continuing to back them until I'm just off the Carolina train. But I think Carolina bounces back. I think their offense gets going. Arizona's defense we saw was not great, letting up, 16 points, something like that, to the Saints. That's really tough to do. 13 points to the Saints. That's impressive, impressively bad. So, yeah, I think Carolina gets it going. I think Bryce Young locks back in. I'll probably take Tet McMillan to score once again. Took him last week. That was a mistake. But yeah, I'm going to be on Carolina. Maybe my last week on Carolina.
Won't be your last week on Carolina. Death taxes and Wyatt on Carolina. That's what we've learned. Come to learn here on the show. But I fully agree. I actually like Carolina a lot. And come Sunday, I am going to have to talk myself off of betting Carolina. But I actually like the spot a lot for them at plus 6.5. Again, the rain delay, I'm going to pretty much throw that game out. I know they're pretty well getting dominated before that game went into the delay. But, coming out, you never know how a team's prepped for that, and very easy to come out flat. So I'm going to give Carolina a small pass on last week's dismantling against the Jags. And then Arizona, yeah, they struggled against the Saints. Maybe they took them a little bit too lightly, which I think we've seen with, Denver against the Titans and Cincinnati probably, even though they just can't prep in the offseason apparently. But you look at the Cardinals, they have a road game against the Niners, divisional opponent, divisional rival on deck. And I think now with Purdy possibly being out for that game, Niners all banged up, I think they're probably looking, okay, we can easily get past Carolina at home. Let's get prepped for San Fran and see if we can start this year 3-0 with a nice divisional win on the road. I think it's a touch of a look ahead for Arizona. And I just don't think many people are going to want to put their money on Carolina after what they saw from them last week. I think Arizona, I'm hoping they win. But I could honestly see this being like a 17-13 type of win for Arizona.
Unfortunately, I am on Arizona here. And my problem is that I know Carolina looked bad. And I know Arizona also looked bad, but I feel like Arizona can fix some things. I'm really worried about Carolina. I'm really worried about Bryce Young. I did get a pretty good laugh about all the guys huddled up and Bryce Young's looking at the Jumbotron, clowning on him. He just wants to watch TV. He's watching the hat game instead of focusing on the huddle. I don't put too much into that. But this offense just worries me. I need to see him hitting Leggett and hitting his main receivers with more frequency. And once I see that, and I would love to be on the Panthers here. I believe I was on the Panthers with you guys last week. I thought they could win that game against Jacksonville outright. To see that performance they had coming out week one left a bad taste in my mouth. Arizona, if they lost the Saints, I don't know how I picked this game because both of them just about killed me, but I'm going to be on Arizona for this one. Just also Kyler Murray had the stomach bug last week. He had the flu right before the game. So I will give him a pass. Maybe he plays a little better. Don't like the line, but I got to see something more at Carolina before I get back on him, man. We do have a comment. He said, I'm in Jamaica, Portland. What up? Shout out Jamaica, Portland.
Shout out.
We were just talking about those Colts. Let's really talk about them because I have some thoughts about this one too. Denver Broncos head to Indianapolis. The Colts 1.5 point home dogs over under set at 42.5. Who wants? Wyatt, do you want to start this one? I feel strong.
Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, this is the definition of an overreaction game. Colts, Daniel Jones scored on every single possession. I think that was the first time since the Peyton Manning era if they did that. I don't even know if they did that in the Peyton era. Phenomenal game from Indy. I mean, Daniel Jones is back. If you ask anyone, Daniel Jones, NFL MVP. But yeah, definition of overreaction for Indy. Also kind of an overreaction for Denver. I know they struggled against the Titans, who are, again, bottom feeder of the league. They were supposed to have this great defense. They didn't look fantastic. Their offense looked super stagnant. They could not get into the end zone. Except my boy Sutton. Everyone made fun of me for keeping Sutton. That guy is their only freaking weapon. Sutton time, baby. Talk about the new Megatron. That's my guy. But yeah, I'm gonna fade the hype of Indy. Unfortunately, I am seeing some sharps and respected bettors on Indy, which might take me off this bet. But for the graphic, I'm pretty high on Denver. I think they're the better team. I think it's way too much hype around Indy. I think they're going to regress definitely this week. So give me Denver to get it done at the Colts.
Yeah, Denver 100% for me. Are you kidding me with this line? Just because Denver didn't look like world beaters against Tennessee and the Colts did against a terrible defense in Miami who's been terrible for years. Now they arguably have to play the top defense in the NFL. Yeah, no chance Daniel Jones scores every possession. No chance Daniel Jones looks even close to as good as he did last week. I mean, the Broncos are so much better than this team. I get it's on the road. I get they struggled a little bit with Tennessee, but dude, -1.5. You can get a money line at -130. You probably get closer to -120 if you shop. I'm probably on this as soon as the show wraps up. I like Denver quite a bit in this game.
100%. I don't understand this line. Maybe that's the trap here, but I'm with you guys. This feels like such an overreaction. Denver only won by 8? They lost last week because of the hook. Okay. Tennessee or Indianapolis. I did write a DFS article out there, and I'm targeting Tyler Warren this week because I think that they can eat over that middle and attacking those linebackers because I do not trust Daniel Jones going against the secondary. So for a fantasy DFS play, Tyler Warren worth the target. The rest of the Colts, I've got no interest in them because this is going to be you can attack the middle, and then once you realize that's the only place that you can get anything done, the defense is going to adjust and take that away. So give me Denver also. I completely agree with you guys. Broncos -130 money line, though. Can you believe that against the Colts?
What would have this line be if the Colts played like they're supposed to? And let's say they win. Let's say they squeak by Miami. And let's say Denver blows out who they play? The Saints. The Titans. Like, what would the line would be 6.5, 7.5. We're getting a 6-point discount here. It's just a huge overreaction. And I think a great buy spot on Denver. I just don't. Yeah, again, I'm seeing a little bit of money and a couple of the trusted guys I followed back in Indy. But, I mean, that goes everything against, what I believe in, and back in the hot team because of one good week. I can't do that. So, Denver, baby.
It could definitely be the Colts facing the worst defense in the league week 1 against the best defense week 2. I mean, that's how bad Miami's defense is.
Yeah, 100%. Let me pull this up here real quick, too. The teams that allowed the most passing yards in week 1, the top 5 quarterbacks were Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones, and Jalen Hurts. Tell me where the outlier is. Exactly. Enjoy Denver.
Get out of there, Josh Allen.
Noah says easy. Yes, Tyler Ward over 4.5 or 5.5 receptions. Easy. I completely agree. Oh, let me refresh. I lost my screen real quick. All right. I don't want to talk about this game, but I'm going to. Eagles versus the Chiefs. My thought process on this is our defensive secondary. So the Chiefs' defensive secondary looks horrible. They look like we've had some injuries in the secondary, and then unfortunately the guys that aren't injured aren't any good. Like, our pass rush is fine. You saw Chris Jones getting his yelled at by Tranquil because he got selfish and took the inside, which left the outside completely open for Herbert to run in, get the first down, seal the game. I'm not too concerned about the offense, but at the same time, a lot of problems with the tackles. We got a rookie left tackle. The Chiefs have a rookie left tackle. They got a right tackle who's just the absolute worst. Kelsey ends up screaming at him, smashes his head into him. He needs to be benched. I worry about the Eagles' pass rush, and then the Chiefs aren't going to be able to stop Smith and A.J. Brown. I think this is actually a good week to play your Eagles. They might be able to contain Saquon a little bit more than normal, but I can't believe this spread's -1.5. I wouldn't rule out the Eagles blowing out the Chiefs at Arrowhead. That's how bad I feel about this game. Wyatt, what do you think, dude?
Yeah, again, I'm going to have to go to the thought process of overreaction. Eagles without Jalen Carter took care of the Dallas. It wasn't the prettiest game, but they still won that game outright. Chiefs losing to the Chargers. That game was in Brazil, so you could add that factor into it. But yeah, I mean, Chiefs opened as a 1.5-point favorite. It switched 2 points in favor of Philly. I mean, do I even have to bring up the stats of Patty Mahomes at home as an underdog? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think he's lost against the spread as a dog, maybe once out of like 20 times. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs. This is also a teaser leg that I am looking at here. If you can get the Chiefs at +7.5, I mean, God, sign me up. That's beautiful. When's the last time Kansas City? You might know, Ben. When's the last time Kansas City lost by more than 10 points? It just doesn't seem like it happens that often.
We usually say that for Super Bowls and Week 18s.
Right, exactly. When you're not playing anyone, or in most recent case, Philly just had your number. But yeah, I mean, I love Kansas City. I think they win the game outright, but I love them even more as a teaser leg. So that's kind of how I'm going to bet this game. If I get the Chiefs plus 7.5, I think that's your best move for a teaser. What are you going to tease that with? I don't know. Figure something out, but I do like Kansas City. And again, my advice is have Patty Mahomes spit in the direction of Jalen Carter right off the bat, and then get him ejected. I mean, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. So, yeah, I'll go Chiefs again. Huge overreaction for Chiefs loss and Eagles win. Super Bowl rematch as well, where the Eagles blew out the Chiefs. I love the Chiefs in this spot.
Well, Jalen Carter's actually suspended for 1 week.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He's out?
He served it, though.
No. You gotta look it up. Look it back up.
Oh,
the league did that because they're playing the Chiefs. I'm messing with you guys.
Oh,
I'm messing with you. It's part of the conspiracy, man. They need to give him a 1 week suspension. That way we can get back, man. Get back in the win column. I need it.
Well, here's the thing, Ben. You can't win this game, right? Not if you're getting the second overall pick. You're not going to go beat the defending Super Bowl champion. But I'll make everything right for you. You trade us Patrick Mahomes. We won't draft Arch Manning. You can replace him with Arch with the second over. It's fine. You'll be good. No, I am not going to overreact to how these teams looked week one. I'm going to take Kansas City here. Completely agree with Wyatt. I would take the teaser. I don't think they lose by more than a touchdown. If they lose, I think they win outright.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm not sold on the Chiefs being as bad as how they looked, and they didn't look good. I mean, they really did not look good, but you have to imagine their game plan was probably heavily involved around Xavier Worthy offensively. Obviously, he's taken out immediately because Kelsey got threatened because Taylor Swift said he kind of liked him. So, there was a hit out for Worthy from Kelsey, and he did it. He got it done, and, that's behind them. There were bigger things on Kelsey's mind that week. Just a little jealous guy. So, now, they're going to have this week to game plan. As long as someone else doesn't get hurt, they're going to be better offensively. You have to believe that. Also, last week, clearly the Chiefs don't fully overlook the Chargers, but having the Super Bowl rematch on deck when you just got blown out by them in the Super Bowl, obviously everyone's going to look at that blowout this week and think, wow, Chiefs looked horrible last week. They just got blown out in their second to most recent game they just played against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Easy to take Philly here. I don't think it's going to be that easy. I think the Chargers were way more focused on beating KC because they've gotten so close so many times, haven't been able to do it. Not only that, they don't play until Monday night, so they basically had a bye week from Friday to Monday, a mini bye week. Whereas obviously Kansas City was focusing a little bit on Philly, you'd have to imagine. So I think it was just a not great spot for Kansas City last week. I think Worthy going out really just threw a fork in them early offensively. They had to completely shift their game plan. So, yeah, I like Kansas City here. Again, I think they went outright. I would get it up over the touchdown. I would pair that with Seattle. That'd be my best teaser look there. But, yeah, I think Kansas City bounce back here. I think they probably, they're going to cover 1.5. They're likely winning.
Here's a question. Is it too obvious to tease Cleveland up to like a 17.5? Or is that just asking for disaster? Is that too many? Is that just like it's going to be a blowout or it's going to be a close game?
So I think it hits, but yeah, like
24-7, you're sweating your balls off.
Yeah, so like at least if you have like the 7.5, and if you're down 10 late, like you're really pushing for that backdoor cover at least. Whereas if you're down 21, it's just like, let's go to you might not push for the backdoor. That's where I get a little bit nervous on. But I mean, I think it covers.
Okay. I like Seattle, especially in a game that should be low scoring.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see KC losing by more than a touchdown in this game if they lose at all.
I hope you guys are right, man. I would love to be wrong on this one. Let's talk about the Falcons heading to Minnesota to face the Vikings. Vikings 3.5-point home favorites. Over-under set at 44.5. I said earlier that the public and the sharp money swayed me for one game. It swayed me for this game. I really did not know who to go with. It looks like the public is on Minnesota. The sharps look like they're on Atlanta. I think I'm going to follow the Sharps on this one. I think I'm going to take Atlanta plus the points. Minnesota was getting their ass kicked by Chicago. Good portion of that game. I don't know. I fell asleep right around halftime, so that game was not great. Don't think this game will be great either. Falcons lost a tough one. Minnesota won a comeback win. Kind of, you guys talk about it sometimes. Just seems like a turn in fates here. So I will take Atlanta plus a 3.5. Ethan, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't know if I'll be betting this game. We'll see when it comes around, but only way I could look is taking over a field goal with Atlanta. And yeah, short week for Minnesota having to play the Monday night game. Obviously had a huge second half effort to come back and win that game outright when it looked like they were going to lose by margin. So the fact that they even made it competitive and then went on to win, obviously huge. JJ McCarthy's first real NFL action. Yeah, I think this is just a tough spot here for Minnesota. They have to travel back home opener. Atlanta, they probably should have won that game. Obviously had the lead, let Baker march down the field and score, and then miss a very makeable field goal for Coot. That dude is so like hero or zero is how that dude is. Just so inconsistent. It's unbelievable. He might join Moody in the unemployment line soon, but that game was tough for the Falcons. I think they'll come back prepped for this one. Kirk Cousins' revenge game, if that counts for anything, from the bench.
That is a deep dive with the revenge game for the backup QB.
Hey, it's prime time. You can't lose for him on the bench in prime time. He's not a good prime time guy, so maybe this is right. It. But yeah, I think you gotta take the points in this game. I don't trust JJ necessarily yet to win games by margin. Even though he almost just did it against the Bears, but then again, that's the Bears.
Yeah. I'll make it 3 for 3 on the Falcons. I love my boy JJ. I absolutely love him. This is a national championship rematch between JJ McCarthy and
dude. Good point.
Penix. So you have that factor into it, where obviously JJ did win. But yeah, I mean, JJ, 21 points in the fourth quarter. Phenomenal fourth quarter. He looked like the worst rookie debut, if you want to call him a rookie. Worst debut in the history of sports, the first 3 quarters of that game. Absolutely atrocious. Could not get the ball off. Threw the pick 6. Was missing receivers. Was getting sacked. And yeah, fantastic comeback win. His mean mug does scare me. I mean, that guy's just a winner, unfortunately. Not for me. I mean, he made my life absolutely amazing as a Michigan man. But that guy loves to win. He just finds ways to win. But I think it's going to be a little too much. I'm still pretty high on Atlanta. 3.5. It seems like it should be within a field goal game. So I like the hook with Atlanta there. Don't hate the over either. I was on the over of Atlanta and Tampa Bay. It never got there. It was just not the fireworks that I thought. I could definitely see some fireworks happening in this game. Not the greatest of defenses. Obviously, you got a lot of weapons on both sides of the field. Bijan, Pitts, Drake London, if he's healthy, who knows? That guy's also made of glass. And obviously, Jay Jetta, Hawk, Naylor, Thielen probably gets more involved for Minnesota. So I don't hit the over, but I definitely like Atlanta to cover this one. I think it's an emotional hangover potential spot for Minnesota. Also, Minnesota and JJ's second straight primetime game. So you do have all the expectations and all the country watching you. I know JJ lived up to the hype late, but again, like I said, was terrible for the start of that game. So it might be a little too much for Minnesota. I wish JJ – it's hard not to root for JJ for me just because I feel like I owe that guy so much. But I think it's a bad spot for them. I do think Penix gets his national championship revenge on JJ in this game.
We even got a comment. Falcons plus 3.5 is too much. They should have went outright. So we're all in agreements there.
I like it.
Flexing on the haters, can't touch my score. Money like Jerry Rice, touchdowns galore. Week after week, always asking for more. Bling on the wrist, got the books on the floor. Listen in, cash out, page is swelling. Plays on the field, see me winning, never dwelling. Flagged on Vegas, they know what I'm selling. NFL bets keep the cheesy compelling. Flexing on the haters, can't touch my score. Money like Jerry